The sneaker world, just like the fashion world, goes through trend cycles. And it's completely possible that sneakers that are popular today were sitting on clearance racks just a few years ago. Well, in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys a sneaker trend report and tell you which are the sneakers that are popular today and which ones are starting to get there. So without further ado, let's go. So the first pretty obvious trend has been the rise of runners, specifically those running shoes from the early 2000s. While the previous era of sneakers definitely saw the Nike Dunks and the Jordan 1s and 4s be the most popular shoes, it seems like nowadays people are valuing comfort above all else. When looking at Nike, there's a reason why this shoe right here, the Zoom Vomero 5, has become the highest selling sneaker for Nike. It's a very comfortable shoe that looks great and is versatile. This one is my favorite colorway, the Supersonic, which you can actually get for around retail right now. And if you want some other options from Nike that are more affordable than the Vomero 5, then look at the P6000, which retails for $120, and I think it's pretty much the same level of comfort, and you can get them in some very clean colorways as well. And a newer model from Nike is the V2K Run. This one also goes for just $120, and they are extremely comfortable. They are definitely chunkier than the first two, but I think it's great value for money at this price. But there are several other brands that specialize in these types of shoes. No one, in my opinion, does it better than Asics. The Gel Kayana 14 has become insanely popular over the last year. Asics overall as a brand is the hottest brand on StockX right now, according to their data. One of the best models from the brand is the Gel 1130, which I've said before is the best value for money sneaker you can buy right now. Let's also not forget about New Balance. If you're looking for a higher build quality type of runner, not just yet another mesh sneaker, then you got some pretty great options like the 990 V6, which is my personal daily shoe. The comfort on those is just so good, and of course we can't forget about some of their performance models like the 2002R and the 1906R, which continue to sell really well. The next type of sneaker that is very popular right now are low profile shoes, and it's pretty normal that these are popular if you think about it, because over the last several years it's actually been the chunky sneakers, the dad sneakers, that were the popular ones, and now the trend cycle has gone in the completely opposite direction and people are going for much more slim, low profile shoes. Unless you've been living under a rock, you already know just how popular the Adidas Samba has been, and much like the Samba, we got the Gazelle Indoor and also the Handball Special that have been selling really well for Adidas. They come in infinite different colorways and materials, and also a lot of really nice collabs have been done on these models. More recently, there's been some other slim models from Adidas that have been gaining popularity, such as the SL72 and also these, which is the SL76, both of which give you that retro look, and it's a pretty good alternative to the Samba. Similarly, you can also look at the Onitsuka Tiger Mexico 66, which come in a variety of colors, but definitely that yellow one is probably the most popular. We've seen other brands hop on this trend as well. If you look at the New Balance and Miu Miu collab, which is an insanely popular shoe. Every time that restocks, it sells out immediately, goes for crazy prices on the resale market. Nike as well has recently brought back some of their old school slimmer models like the Field General 82, which is pretty much like a slimmed down Air Force One. We also saw that Bodhi collab on the Nike Astro Grabber, yet another retro model, very beautiful pairs, and some of my favorite shoes that dropped this year. As well as the LD Waffle has been making a comeback. We saw that recent collab with Stussy. A brand that has been actually really popping off lately in this category has been Puma, which has brought back some of their retro models such as the Mostro as well as the Speed Cat. And these right here are what I was talking about earlier in the video, which are shoes that were in the clearance section just a couple of years ago and now they're selling out. We see the Speed Cats now at Paris Fashion Week. We see influencers rocking them. They definitely have a bit of racing flair attached to them, but I do think they offer a very nice alternative if you're looking for a nice slim low profile sneaker. Very quickly, by the way, if you have been enjoying this video and you want to keep up with me on the daily, make sure you are following my Instagram. I'm posting on there daily. I respond to all of you guys, as well as I post a lot of outfit inspiration on there if that's something you're looking for. So make sure you give me a follow on Instagram. The link is in the description. Now, an observation that I've made just by being outside and watching people here in Berlin, and by the way, I've been living in Berlin for 7 years now, and one thing I have noticed is that a lot of trends happen here maybe a year or 6 months month at least before they become popular in North America and other places. It's a very fashion forward city, and one trend that I've been noticing a lot is the crazy comeback of the Nike Shox, a shoe that sells out basically instantly every time it restocks in Germany lately, especially the black colorways. The Shox might honestly be the most popular sneaker right now in Germany, especially among the Gen Z crowd, and I'm willing to predict that you're soon going to see the Shox everywhere on your timelines. Nike also recently announced that they're going to be, for the first time ever, retroing the Shox Ride 2, a shoe that before only retroed once on that Supreme collab from 2 years ago, but now we're going to be getting some general release colorways, and I'm going to predict that that sneaker is going to take off and become pretty mainstream. Okay, now we're going to move into some of the more wilder trends we're starting to see in the sneaker world, and one that no one really saw coming is the rise of the sneaker dress shoe. We've started to see a trend, especially if you follow the TikTok fashion community, of people starting to wear a lot more non-sneakers like loafers and dobby shoes, and now it seems like the sneaker world is trying to get in on that trend. We've seen some really unique pairs this year from Clot and Adidas. On the Superstar, we saw a couple of colorways on there, which I thought were really cool. And then New Balance gave us these, which I think is one of the most interesting shoes to drop this year, the 1906L, which is a true blend of a sneaker and a loafer. It doesn't look like they just took the top from a loafer and the bottom of a sneaker and just glued them together. No, this seems like a fully cohesive product, like a full-on sneaker loafer. I predict that we're going to be seeing a lot more of these types of shoes from different brands this year, and personally I am all for it. I love seeing innovation in the sneaker world, and in my opinion this is one of the best recent sneaker trends. Another trend that I've been noticing a lot recently is just how many sneaker mules we've been seeing. These are basically sneakers with the back missing. I can see why they're popular, I guess because you can just slide your feet into them. We know how popular the Birkenstock Bostons are, but also lately we have seen the Clogposit, the Nike Clogposit, make a comeback. The recent Supreme collab in particular did sell out, and even the GR colorways have been kind of popular. We know New Balance has had the 2002 Mules for a few years already, but more recently we saw this Solomon and Maison Margiela collab on the XT4, which I'll be honest, I'm not so sure how functional this shoe is because they are technically hiking shoes, and hiking shoes with absolutely no ankle stability, yeah, I don't know about those. We also saw Asics recently dropped the Gel Styrax, which seems like another Kiko Kastadanov creation, and also Adidas with their Adifoam line of mules. We had the Superstar in a few colorways, and this much crazier Adidas Infinity Mule. I just picked up some mules myself. This is the recent collab with Crocs and Japanese brand Beams Plus. They're called the Souvenir Jacket pair, and you guys know how much I love Japan, so I absolutely needed these. I will be also vlogging my next trip to Japan, which will be in a couple of weeks, so expect some vlogs on the channel very soon. Do let me know in the comments what has been your favorite sneaker trend recently, and which has been your favorite out of all the ones I mentioned in this video. Are there any trends that I may have missed? Let me know in the comments as well. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Like I said, that is where I'm posting the most, so make sure you're following me, and thank you so much for stopping by, supporting the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.